Before we get started on this episode of Real Nerds Podcast, remember you can connect to the Real Nerds in many ways. You can follow us on Twitter at Real Nerds. You can go to our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can like us on Facebook. You can also call us 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Comic Con 2016. Log on to denvercomiccon.com to purchase your tickets. And Carl Urban has just been announced for Denver Comic Con. Hopefully he'll make it this year. I think the last time he was announced, he had to cancel because they did reshoots for Star Trek, so Into Darkness. So hopefully he can make it this time because he'll be fun.
What was that show called where he was a cop in the future and there were robots?
Dread?
No, man. He had that show and it got canceled and it was kind of good.
Yeah, what was that?
And his friend was a robot. He was like, I'm the only robot who's not a robot.
Robot and I.
Oh, man. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I keep wanting to say Minority Report, but it's not Minority Report.
This is not a fever dream I'm having.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. As long as I'm not crazy, we don't have to talk about this. Moving on.
Anyway, I'm Ryan. Next to me is
James.
And
Brad.
And filmmaker
Zach Eastman.
Hey, buddy,
I'm a filmmaker. You introduced me as a filmmaker.
Everybody knows you. You're on like 200 and something episodes. So no one cares, Brad. I'm just saying.
I don't think that makes it better.
If only my sadness was audible.
Oh,
it is.
Now we're like Facebook. We have new emojis where you can say you're mad, happy.
Like,
seems like the easiest.
Makes me angry.
It seems like something they should have had like in their third year of existence, and they just updated it now.
I don't know why people. Well, I guess I know why people are so anxious to get like a thumbs down for posts, but like why spread all that negativity for stuff that's so trivial?
Right.
Well, it was because, you know, your friend's dog would die, and you wouldn't want to necessarily write anything because that takes a lot of work, and you don't want to like it because you don't like it, but you want to show support. You want to show just as much support as clicking a button takes. Like, that's how much you give a shit about your friend and their emotions.
The best joke in Knock Knock. So at the end of Knock Knock, Keanu Reeves is, you guys will never see it. Zach might watch it.
That's a movie where he gets raped by those ladies?
Yeah. Okay. So they post the video of him being raped on Facebook. And then they bury him up to his head in the backyard. And they put the phone there and they let the video playing on Facebook. And Keanu's like, no, fuck you. And he's trying to turn it off with his nose and he hits and it's like, you like this. And then the next feed is like, it says, I can't believe you like this, you fucking pig. It's really funny.
Actually, like the angry and sad choices are still kind of useless because it's like, you know, if someone says angry, are you angry that I posted this, or is the content what you're angry about? Like,
why did you let your dog die?
Or you son of a bitch.
Or the third option, are you just angry at me as a general person?
Yeah. Or are you just generally angry?
Every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience of the world. This week we saw London Has Fallen, governor. So stay tuned to the end of the movie and we'll talk about it. We also spoil it, so make sure if you want to see the film, we'll tell you if you should see it. Yeah. And if not, we'll tell you why. But every once in a while we get fan mail, guys. And this week we got some fan mail.
Open it!
It's a 1-year membership in the Jelly of the Month Club.
Oh, good.
Clark, it's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year.
That it is, Edward. That it is indeed.
So this is from Robert, and he said, surrealism, can it be it? Turbo Teen and Gilligan's Planet are surreal, but also boring and crappy. You already pointed out why it can't be fun. Must be impossibility. Just look at the new shows on Fox. Alan Gregory, ? You have to be bloody kidding me. Unremarkable, obnoxious characters standing around making rude statements back and forth, hardly taking the medium to its limits.
This is a comment on our Wanderfuck episode from like 3 years ago.
Yeah. that just showed up.
Like, when did we talk about how shitty Surreal?
Yeah,
is? I agree.
so
but I don't
episode
remember saying
38,
it.
just this comment randomly showed up in our email thread. So,
It's
from
a
some
spam comment.
some spam bot.
Yeah, I don't know anything. None of those words made any sense.
No,
Is that a show? Are those shows?
Alan Gregory, would that come out 6 years ago?
Who's Alan Gregory?
That's that Jonah Hill animated cartoon on Fox that was like 10 episodes long.
Yeah, no. Surrealism is almost never good. Period.
Cool. So we have started a new month, and a new month brings new announcements from our favorite movie theater, the Alamo Drafthouse.
Oh yeah, I like that place.
Hi, my name is Tim League. I'm the founder of the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema, and I'm here with my good friend, Mr. Alan Graham, at Community First Village. And we're also here specifically at the Alamo Drafthouse Outdoor Theater at Community First. And so, Alan, I gotta say, it's incredible how much progress has been made in a year since we stood here at this very same spot.
Well, Tim, your fingerprints, the Alamo Drafthouse family's fingerprints are on this property. Community First Village is the master plan community that's designed to lift the chronically homeless up off the streets of our great city into a place that we call community.
And everybody in Austin has a chance to be a part of this wonderful project because Amplify Austin Day is right around the corner. It's on March 8th. It's a chance for everybody in Austin to donate to their favorite charities. And I gotta say, my favorite charity is right here, Mobile Loaves and Fishes. Not only will all donations to Mobile Loaves and Fishes be matched, you will also get an exclusive invitation to a movie screening right here at this fabulous new outdoor movie theater.
Cool. So March 2016 at the Alamo Drafthouse. Spring's coming and the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema in Littleton. March is packed with films and events that are sure to get the birds chirping. On Sunday, March 6th, we welcome Academy Award-winning director Oliver Stone as he presents U-Turn and Natural Born Killers. So that's today.
My body just does that when I hear Oliver Stone's name.
The Denver Actors Fund presents, fresh off a successful screening of Heathers that director Michael Lehman attended, returns with a screening of Ragtime and a pre-show performance by the Performance Now Theater Company. 50% of the proceeds benefit the fund that provides financial assistance to actors in the Denver theater community who find themselves in situational medical need.
Has anybody here seen Ragtime?
No.
It's actually really good.
Cool.
Yeah, I think you might like it.
Sounds like a bunch of bitchy women.
You're pointing at me.
Yeah, out of all three, you would like it the most.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Neat.
I'm going to be there on March
More like-
17th
Never mind.
because
Don't say that. That's horrible.
on March 17th, Alamo Drafthouse Cinema Littleton will exclusively open the Netflix original film Pee-wee's Big Holiday with a live stream introduction by Paul Rubens to kick off April. Director Karen Kusama will present an early screening of upcoming Drafthouse films The Invitation.
That
as
should be our
as
movie of the
Girl
week.
Fright. What?
Big Pee-wee's Big
Oh, yeah.
Holiday.
For which week is that? The 18th?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Sweet. We're doing
Because I'm not going to be here the 18th, so we can't all go see Allegiant. I can't drag you to go see an 11-year-old movie. So yeah, that's totally what you should do.
Yeah, we'll definitely do Pee-wee.
Buy tickets right now.
Yeah. So log on to alamodrafthouse.com/Denver. Get tickets. Here's a couple other things that are coming out this week. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze. The first pizza party is the 13th.
Brad.
Already bought?
You're going on the 20th, though, right?
Yeah.
Because it's also the 20th. The Green Street Hooligans is on the 15th.
That's a cool movie.
The Beastmaster is on the 22nd.
That's not a cool movie.
That's with the beer pairing from Avery Brewery.
That's cool.
Do both of them have ferrets in it, or is it just the second one?
I think there's ferrets all over the place.
Okay.
I think it's a movie about ferrets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
This
Beastmaster.
week, the Fantastic Mr.
Ferret-
Fox is
the
also
Ferret
there.
Master. No ferrets in the Fantastic Mr. Fox, though.
Pitch Perfect Sing Along is on the 8th. For Quote Along this week is Step Brothers.
Yeah, they're doing a whole versus thing
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, I'm seeing Bloodsport on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bloodsport is on the 10th. Video Vortex is alias Batman and Robin. The Graveyard Shift is a monthly horror series with ultimate deep cuts, oddities, discoveries, and more. Hosted by the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema's own Ian Patrick, and he also writes liner notes for some Arrow films.
Cool.
So this week is Just Before Dawn with director Jeff Lieberman, and also Blue Sunshine with director Jeff Lieberman.
Those are some like weird horror movies that I've never heard of.
I've never heard of them either. I might have to go check it out.
No.
The Ultimate Battles of Cinema is continuing this week. Brad already mentioned Bloodsport. The Warriors is on the 13th.
That reminds me, I want to do a short called Bloodspork, where a Van Damme-like character fights people with a KFC spork.
Well, now you've given it away. I have to edit this part out, otherwise someone will steal your brilliant idea.
Copyright awesome ideas by Brad.
And that's what's playing at the Alamo Drafthouse this week. Good stuff.
I stole the domain name for Awesome Ideas by Brad, so I'll sell it to you for $1,000, Brad.
Son of a bitch. You'll never get my money.
Cool.
I'll kill you and take it from you.
Zach, you're our guest. What do you want to start with first?
Let's unspool some real news.
Alrighty.
Nice.
We're gonna do something a little bit different. Instead of like a bumper, we're gonna listen to a real quick little video from a movie.
What you got? I can see that, mullethead. What you got in the hole? He ain't got nothing. Shown raised his head off.
Been bent in his head since a gun.
All right, then you just call him. Call.
You gotta see a gambler. Come on. You got it.
I can't catch it. I'm safe in. Can't catch. I vote. King 4-3. You got a 9. Nothing visible. Pair of 7s and a jack gets a 6. Savannah's, you still a better man.
Cuter.
I'm beat there.
Doesn't have.
Kick it back. Kick it back a buck.
Kick it back. All right, I see you, buck, and back a buck.
Kick a buck.
Damn.
Don't look at me, mullethead.
Well, come on. What you gonna do, play like a coconut? You got to call him, didn't you?
Look, I know he's got a pair of kings. Then I have to stuff up my nose.
Well, you still got to call him anyway.
But you gotta
look at him.
The man's got kings. Get your tail out.
Yeah.
Now you got. You want to see him?
Yeah.
Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. Mic'd up, right?
He beat you at nothing. Just like today when he kept coming back at me with nothing.
Yeah, well, sometimes nothing can be a real cool hand.
Go sit in here next to my boy. Here, Duke. Deal.
George Kennedy died this week. You were just listening to.
Why don't you put the Naked Gun in there?
Because it's fucking Cool Hand Luke. Plus, I got the actual clip where he coins the term Cool Hand Luke, which
That's
is a
the one that you were
scene.
talking about on the Facebook thread.
Yeah, sometimes nothing can be a real cool hand. Oh man, what a great movie!
Yeah, good actor.
Yeah. It was funny. I was talking to my dad about it last night, and he said that's the one movie that he's really proud that he showed us as a kid. Or that when my brother and I were kids, he said that and I was like, what are you talking, how many 10-year-olds have seen Guys and Dolls and Bridge Over the River Kwai? But he was like, well, yeah, but I remember us watching Lawrence of Arabia, and when he said, when he was a kid, or when he was younger, when Lawrence of Arabia came out, he thought it was so cool, and then when he showed it to us, he's like, man, the second half of this movie's really boring. But Cool Hand Luke was one that, I remember the first time that I saw it, and it's bizarre because it's a 70s movie that's one of those here's this rebel who, spoilers, ends up dying at the end. And there were so many of those movies, like Vanishing Point, some of or Easy Rider, that I actually don't like the movie very much. But Cool Hand Luke is really good. And George Kennedy is awesome in it. He won the Oscar that year, so that's too bad.
He was also in The Dirty Dozen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's a great actor.
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
Lived a great life.
Yeah.
Was in his 90s.
91.
Good for him.
Yeah. In much, much sadder news, they're renewing Fuller House for a second season. So that's too
You got
bad.
it, dude.
Man, what an atrocious thing.
I didn't even watched it.
Oh, you should watch 16 minutes of it.
No.
That's how much I could get through.
Nope.
Oh,
I have better things to watch on Netflix.
It's not a show, it's an endurance test.
That's true. Yeah. And unlike almost an entire season of Two Broke Girls, I didn't pass this test.
Well, you didn't even finish Two Broke Girls.
No, I didn't. I got to the finale.
Yeah.
That's why I said almost an entire season. The finale's an hour long, dude. That's excruciating.
Yeah, you pussed out.
It was the same number of jokes. They were just twice as long. Oh, it was so bad. Oh, the finale of Two Broke Girls. Oh, man. Yeah, but it's not anywhere near as bad as the first episode of Fuller House. It's funny. There's a trailer already for Fuller House season 2.
What?
It's just like a little snippet of like them all sitting on the couch, but it doesn't have any of the dads. So it makes me curious. Like, are they just going to spin off a show where it's just all of the actors and actresses who had their career in Full House? Like, oh, now we hang out in this house now. Is that the show?
Sure.
Man. Anyway, that's enough of that. This isn't movie news, but it's just cool. Joss Whedon and John Cassidy are reuniting.
Nice.
They're going to do a story for Captain America in sort of an anthology issue in a little while called Sam Wilson.
It's going to be. It's a good thing to pick up at Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics.
What, Captain America?
Their run on Astonishing X-Men.
Oh, dude. It's so good.
In trade paperback.
Cassidy's
form. 20% off at Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics.
Yeah. So it's Captain America Sam Wilson #7 is the issue. So check that out in a little while.
Cool.
Because that'll be cool. And then we got some trailers. Well, there's really just one to talk about, which is we got a trailer for Ghostbusters. How's that Ghostbusters trailer, guys?
I'm interested.
I'm interested. Whatever. I'll see it.
I'm interested. I said it before and I'll say it again. Like, the reaction to it has been really strange.
Yeah.
Like, we're not giving the movie a chance yet. It's just 2 minutes out of a 2-hour movie.
I've met people who saw it and were like, "This is so cool! I'm so excited!" And then I see like shit on the internet where people are like, "This is complete garbage! Like, the first movie is amazing," and I'm like, "Yeah, it is. How about we see this movie and then decide whether or not like."
No matter what happens, that first movie will always exist as it has been. You will always have access to it.
No, this is going to diminish this movie.
The movie's not actively shitting all over. Right, like Jurassic Park is not a bad film because Jurassic World is so shitty.
Yeah.
Like,
Jurassic World is not a shitty movie.
But it's funny. Ryan and I were watching the trailer right before we started because somebody a fan edited together a 51-second version of the trailer.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Without those end jokes, it's better.
The trailer is fine until when the music drops out and they start like trying to build this sort of complicated like possession joke that just does not work in the trailer. Up until then, like, it's a fine trailer. But all you need is a couple of jokes and you need some nostalgia, and I'll go see the movie. Like, whatever, and it looks, the visuals are really cool. The ghosts look awesome. Slimer looks cool.
Did you see the Twinkie ad in Times Square?
No.
There's a giant Twinkie
on
on one of those Times Square glow screens.
Yeah.
Nice.
It looks cool. I like all those actors. For the most part, like,
I think the movie looks great, but I mean, like, visually it looks great.
It's just a bad trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, remember the first trailer for Ant-Man was shit, and that movie was great.
Yeah, we'll see.
So
we still have till July.
Yep.
Yeah.
The best part about Ghostbusters, we get Ecto Cooler High C again.
Oh,
Sugar,
have they actually said they're going to do that?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, they've said they're going to do that?
Yeah, they said they're going to do it, yeah.
And there's going to be
that's
Twinkies
fantastic.
with green slime in them.
Ooh.
Or it's going to be like key lime flavor, but it's going to be green.
Oh, that actually sounds delicious. It's not just food coloring, it's actually a different flavor. I like that. That's cool. All right.
Well,
that's all the news I got.
I guess we're going
Did I
to
miss anything?
You said there were a couple of trailers. I'm curious.
No, not really. I said a couple, but there really weren't.
Okay.
I think there were other trailers, but I don't remember any.
You're a
of them.
liar.
We could just we can recap the Oscars really fast. Alicia Vikander won for Ex Machina.
Yeah, good for her.
good
Ex
for
Machina
her.
is a great movie. Yeah.
She went for Danish Girl, not
Shit,
Ex
well, I don't. You don't talk like that here, man.
She did not win for the Danish Girl.
Pretty sure she did.
No,
Nobody even saw that movie. What are you talking about?
she won for Man from U.N.C.L.E., okay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She also, I think it was. Yeah.
It's a combined. She's going against herself.
Right. Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, I think she was nominated twice. Yeah.
Yep.
And now she'll fade into obscurity.
Oh, no, she won't. No,
she's good.
She's gonna be in Man from U.N.C.L.E. 2, guys. Right?
She'll Cuba Gooding Jr. it.
She's gonna be in Man from U.N.C.L.E. 2.
Huh?
They're making Man from U.N.C.L.E. 2, right?
Yeah.
She's gonna be in that.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Of course they are,
They
James.
greenlit
Of
that,
course
yeah.
they are.
Yeah, they love when they make $120 million that make $40 million to make a sequel to. Hey, I have the Blu-ray. Haven't watched it yet, but it was on sale at Best Buy for $7 last week.
The movie's so good.
Yeah, we'll see.
Anyway, Blind Spot won, which was weird.
Spotlight,
But I think, or Spotlight, whatever it was. Blind Spot's also a piece
Like,
of
wow,
shit.
TV show won a movie award. That's amazing. That'd be the most amazing award ever.
But which is funny because I predicted that, and then when it happened, I was like dumbfounded. But
Yep.
yeah.
the upset for me was still not seeing Stallone win because we'll get into what we watched this week because I saw something that should have been recognized.
Oh, absolutely. But that speech that he
Mark
gave
Rylance was good. And,
he's really
absolutely
great. And the best speech of the night, in my opinion. Like when he got up there and he was like so humbled and like, that was fantastic.
He was eloquent. I liked it.
What clip did they use for Stallone's like before they announced?
Not the right one. They used the one. They used the one where they go into the gym and he's like, you know, I'm only gonna do this if you're gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. You gonna do this? Is that speech? But it wasn't like look at the mirror. You're gonna fight. You're fighting yourself. And it wasn't the I'm back there on the wall with all the old dead guys. It wasn't either of the great speeches. It was just a weird. It was a weird clip to choose.
Congratulations, your Stallone impression woke up, Kellen.
Oh no! Oh man! I'm sorry, Kellen. You Kellen, go back to sleep. This isn't creepy at all. That's okay.
There was like when I saw Mad Max picking up award after award, I started having that momentum where I was like, "Oh, please,
I know the dream.
Let this be the upset year. Let Chris Rock is already offending everybody, so let's just have everybody else be offended. So like all groups are offended this glorious night."
Let's talk about the fact that like his. Honestly, so I watched the entire Oscars, which is weird because I haven't watched an Oscars in years, and it was actually one of the most entertaining ones I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did a really good job, though the race humor got tiresome. Like the opening was fantastic, like really funny, really well done, and then like
about 3/4 of the way, I rewatched his monologue. About 3/4 of the way through, I was like, "Oh, this seems a bit long," and he's treading on the same material again and again. Yeah.
But okay, so we can have a conversation about like how far they pushed it, and I think we talked about back when there was some controversy about like, okay, is the Academy Award really being racist here, or is it just like, hey, this year mostly white people were the best? Which that is a conversation to have. The really shitty thing is that Hollywood is 100% super racist, and the place where they're the most racist is against Asians, which is why it's really offensive that he does all of this stuff about blacks in Hollywood, and then has this really flat, horrible joke where he brings out the quote-unquote accountants, and they're all just Asian kids. And you're like, are you fucking serious? Like, how are you... I'm sorry, Kellen. How are you going to have this long conversation and make such a big deal about race and how important it is, and then you throw in a joke like that? Like, what's wrong with you? And it wasn't... If it had been funny or self-aware, I would have given him some slack. But
Kellen, why don't you
it was a dumb joke.
What do you think about racism in Hollywood?
He's happy it exists.
He's just smiling and shy. I think he, like
Future
Donald Trump,
CEO of Warner Brothers, right there, ladies and gentlemen.
He, like Donald Trump, has never heard of racism. So
don't change the system. Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
That's what he said.
This is how we keep.
He likes it as it is.
But yeah, it was just.
Yeah, you think about it. How many like Asians are leading men in movies? Right. Like at least some African Americans get those roles, but Asians not so much.
Like you make a big deal out of it, and then every presenter is a black person who has won an Oscar. So where's the argument, right? If Whoopi Goldberg won an Oscar 20 years ago, and yes, I agree, nobody was nominated this year. Will Smith wasn't that good, and a lot of the like, I don't know what you want. Like
whatever, James. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. I guess I didn't see the movie, so maybe he was amazing, but he probably wasn't. Like, it doesn't matter. Leo was going to win every day. Like, it doesn't... Yep. There was never a run here.
I don't know. I was hoping Bryan Cranston might sweep a leg.
Really?
I was.
The clip they showed was awesome. Yeah, that clip great. Made me want to watch Trumbo. I haven't seen it yet, but like that clip alone.
I'm in a bathtub surrounded by water.
It was fantastic.
If anything falls on fire, I'm fairly certain I will be safe.
Yeah, but you know, it's what I've always said about the Oscars, that the winner is most acting, and The Revenant is nothing if not most acting, right? Like nobody else had snot flying out of their nose and like doing that weird grimace face where he can't move and he's like trying to scream but he can't. Like, yeah, that shot won him an award.
Yep.
So anyway, it was just annoying.
Anyways, hey, what's Blu-rays are coming out this week?
Okay.
You've got the HD TV, but you're not watching movies in HD unless you're watching on Blu-ray high def.
A lot has changed. You're right.
Are we alone?
The Peanuts movie.
Yay.
I know.
I love that movie.
I'm excited. That's a good one. There's also the Blu-ray release of the Super Bowl coming out this week.
I'll get that too.
Do you? Have you ever gotten Super Bowls before? I guess we won this one, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, I have the video cassettes of when the Broncos won Super Bowls.
Oh, okay, cool.
Do they keep the commercials in, or is it just play straight through?
Well, it's their highlight movie of the year, so it just goes through all their games.
It's not the whole...
You don't watch the whole 2 hours?
No, it's not the game.
Man.
That's lame.
It's all right.
Right.
So I guess the Broncos' history of DVD I have is really good because they have, like, in their own words, Jake Plummer and things like that. I don't know the special features on it. I'm sure they'll have a few NFL Films things.
In the Heart of the Sea, 3D is getting a Blu-ray release this week. It's they have this really beautiful Blu-ray package, and then they took like the shittiest 3D logo and just smacked it on the cover. Like it's it's that big blocky gold 3D. Oh, yeah. It's so bad.
Don't forget it's 3D.
If you watch it in 3D, the CG doesn't look so bad. Victor Frankenstein, which I'm strangely curious about.
Yeah.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I did. We talked about this a couple episodes back.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I told you, I spoiled it for you, and you were none too happy as I was none too happy after leaving the theater.
I don't care. I'm going to see it anyway.
Okay. You got to let me know what you think then.
I will. Ryan, I think you've got a movie pre-ordered this week, don't you?
I do. It's coming in the mail. Howard the Duck. The only reason I don't have the Peanuts movie pre-ordered is because there's a special edition at Target.
Oh, is there really?
Yeah.
Oh,
it comes with like a Snoopy on his doghouse.
Man.
I was going to pick up Howard the Duck, but then they bumped it back up to $14.99.
See, I pre-ordered it when it was $7.99.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And a movie that I did not know was getting a Blu-ray release, but I am so excited about, even though it's a pretty shitty Blu-ray release, is Batteries Not Included.
I am getting that one.
Oh, man. But
yeah, the cover's atrocious.
The cover's terrible.
Is it like rejected Drew Struzan drawings?
No, it's like his
half-done one.
That movie has an actual Drew Struzan. Yeah.
I know. That's why it's offensive.
The Jessica Tandy... I actually stand... Oh, no. You know what it looks... Jessica Tandy's on the cover, but she looks like... You remember the end of Stargate when the dude's getting blown up by the nuke and he turns back into his alien form, right? That's what Jessica Tandy looks like. She looks like this terrible half-mutated, blowing up alien. It's so bad. Or like Jessica Tandy if she was stung by a bunch of bees and her face swole up. It's an awful cover. And there's it doesn't look like there's any special features. It's really sad. That movie's awesome. And I'm gonna buy this one.
Hey, but you're gonna get HD picture and theater quality sound, according to Universal's packaging on the back.
Yeah, and probably the bumper I just put in front of them.
You know what we should do?
Yeah, what?
We should honor it by parodying it in Riddler's Pod Show Season 2.
Oh, dude, I love it. Batteries Not Included is so good. It's like what E.T. should be. That's how good Batteries Not Included is.
It's a great movie. What are you talking about?
Batteries Not Included is better. Totally is, man. It's so good. There's also some cool movies from last year that I never got a chance to see that I'm excited to pick up. So Macbeth is coming out, which looked awesome. I really want to see that. Yeah. And The Tribe, which is it's the movie where everybody is deaf, and so the whole thing is in sign language.
That's Steve's number one, right?
Number two.
No, I think it was Kendall's number one, but it was one of Steve's high up there.
Number
movies.
2.
Yeah.
Just not listen to what everybody else just said, James.
No, I'm sorry.
Zach memorized all the lists, just to refer to him.
Xanadu's getting a Blu-ray release this week.
Oh,
Xanadu.
How wonderful to live in the world we live in today.
Olivia Newton-John's beautiful.
Oh, she is. That movie's not as bad as everybody gives it crap for, but it's
not good.
It's not good either.
When's the sequel coming out?
It's got a kick-ass title,
Xanadu.
Xanadu Electric Boogaloo.
Shame.
Real Nerds Podcast Season 2, I think, is when it's coming out.
Kirk Douglas's The Vikings is getting a Blu-ray release, which I just think has a kind of cool cover because it's Kirk Douglas running, and he's a giant, and he's on a Viking boat.
Is that
I think he's going to crush it
with him.
Yeah, it is. It's Tony. Yeah,
Nice.
It's Tony Curtis and Kirk Douglas, Janet Leigh.
See, it's a great picture because I could tell that's Tony Curtis from here.
Yeah, right. It's much better than the cover for Batteries Not Included. And now we're getting into the real gold, though. Species 2 is getting a Scream Factory release.
I'm always down to see Natasha Henstridge naked in HD.
Well, good news. And you can also, they've got a Scream Factory double feature of Species 2 and Species
3, James.
Whatever. Species 3 and Species The Awakening. Did you know there was a fourth species?
I did not know there was a fourth one.
Right. Neither did anyone else.
Ask me if I knew there was a third one.
Hey, Ryan, did you know there was a third species?
I did not know there was a third species.
I don't think Natasha Henstridge is in that one.
I don't think so.
Oh, no,
either.
she is. It says Natasha Henstridge, so she's in one of them. I don't know.
Probably Species 4 because that's when her career tanked, and then she's like, I need some money.
Well, neither of the women on these covers are Natasha Henstridge, so maybe she shows, maybe like
Flashback.
they just, or maybe they hired her as like, hey, we want you to show up as like the consultant for the cops, and it'll just be like a reference, like and then that way we can put you as billing.
Cool.
Know? That would be that sounds like a thing we would do.
$23. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, but it's 2 Species films.
So I guess it's only $12 for each one.
Right. Now it's also $23 for Species 2, so
that's a little higher quality.
Yes.
Usually when Scream
Species
Factory...
2, a little higher quality.
When they do that Scream Factory, it's usually because Species 2 probably has a lot of special features.
Yeah.
And Species 3 and 4 probably have nothing on.
Right, yeah. They have they have an interview with some guy who saw Species 4. Yeah, I knew there was a Species 4.
Yeah, I was the guy who saw it. I said $5,000 gross.
My next door neighbor made it. He asked me to watch it once. It was not that good. Anyway, that's Blu-rays for this week.
Cool. We also watch movies. This is what we watched this week.
Oh, we got movie side!
This is my boomstick!
I love being a turtle! You're getting your wishes, so sit down! Great Scott! The line must be drawn here! Damn you all to hell! And you will know my name is the law when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Now you're getting nasty.
Brad, what'd you watch this week? You know I picked on you because you were on your phone not paying attention to the show.
What do you think about part? What's the subtitle for Species 4?
Go fuck yourself. That's the title.
GFU, I think that's right.
Yeah, Species GFU, like Stargate SGU. Yeah, actually, I was trying. As we were talking, because you said Macbeth, I remembered I don't know, a month ago, I watched a Marion Cotillard movie called 1 Day, 2 Nights.
1 day,
2 days, 1 night.
2 days, 1 night.
Yeah,
which is really good. It's a Criterion.
Does she get lost on an island with Harrison Ford?
No,
because that's an awesome movie.
Is it?
Yeah,
I'll take your word for it. It has pirates in it.
Yeah, it's got pirates in it,
like Johnny Depp pirates, or
Captain
Phillips pirates. Movie Psycho.
Huh? Captain Phillips pirates.
Anyway, she plays a character. It's a French film, so you got to read. She loses her job, and then she has a group of people within the job who are like, hey, she loses it because they're trying to make cutbacks, and if her friends convince her that, if you can convince other people to not take bonuses, then you can keep your job.
Oh, like Christmas Vacation.
Have I not seen that in a long enough time?
No, just keep moving. It was a funny joke. My mom got it. Move along.
Okay. So, they fire her so everyone get their bonuses, but her friends say, if you can sway enough people to not take the bonuses, you'll be able to keep your job. And it turns out the guy who instigated it made a bunch of rumors about why she's incompetent. And then as the movie goes along, you learn that she had a mental breakdown at one point. So everyone kind of feels like he's right, but so the movie is mostly just her going from door to door, trying to ask these people personally, hey, would you be willing to give your bonuses? And everyone has a different reason. That's legitimate. So it's a big dilemma of, forces people in a situation I don't want to ruin this person's life. She has kids too, but I want to do stuff for my kids, and we have money short. So, really interesting watch.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then I watched Hail Caesar.
Hey, what'd you think of Hail Caesar?
Meh.
You son of a bitch.
I got nothing out of it.
Cool.
I saw it. and that was the end of it. A lot like Burn After Reading.
Okay, that's also a good movie.
Yeah, but yeah, like really, there's no examination I can.
Yeah,
I want the poster quote to be, yeah, Brad Haig.
Yeah, this podcast. Yeah, I saw it.
I saw this movie.
Yeah,
I saw this also.
There's some great performances, and like the musical numbers are fun, and I think the only part I actually laughed at was when Channing Tatum jumps on the submarine and drops the money into the water to save the dog. Yeah. It's like, yeah,
gives that like look of like
that whole sequence to me is brilliant. That was the moment that I like fell in love with that movie. But anyway, we'll talk about it because I have a feeling Zach's gonna have seen that movie too.
Oh yeah, it was the first time you watched it too.
What was the second time actually?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I've been watching The Simpsons. I talked about that last week. What was the last thing I wrote down?
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I watched. Well,
did you watch the whole thing?
No. I think I watched 20 minutes of it.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, it's so good.
No.
It's like
right away. I'm just like, oh.
It's like the shit stain on your pants. Just want it to go away.
Shit stain on your pants.
First 2 minutes is just like shots of guys flipping through the air against green screen.
That's it's a Power Rangers movie.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
There's not much more to say because I didn't watch the whole thing, but right off the bat, like, yeah, there's recast characters and just the special effects are so horrendous.
I bought it on Blu-ray when it was $3 at Target, and it's still in its plastic. The director of that just directed something new, and I was like, oh, that's why that movie's... Oh, the Annabelle horror movie. I'm like, oh, the Annabelle horror movie is like kind of creepy, but the direction is fucking horrible. So I looked it up on IMDb. I'm like, oh, there we go. About right.
Yeah, it's just so... Like, and they recast... Oh, interesting. Christopher Lambert... they switched him out in that movie, but he's in Hail Caesar. I was like, oh, I haven't seen that guy in a while. Man, he's looked different.
Yeah. If you look closely, you see that Clancy Brown's in it too. It's the weirdest Highlander reunion movie ever made.
So yeah, it was so bad I didn't even bother finishing it.
I don't blame you, Brad.
Are you going to the Mortal Kombat screening at the Alamo? Part of their Versus thing?
I don't know. It's hard for me to get down there because my wife works, and I don't know. And I don't know if I want to spend money to see it on the big screen.
The first one?
Yeah, the first one's all right.
Still not worth it for you?
Yeah. I still want a rated R one.
Mm.
You should get the Legacy ones that they put out. They're digital first. They're really good.
Are they full movies, or I thought it was a series?
It's a series, but when they put them on Blu-ray, they re-edit it so it's a movie. So it comes out pretty good.
That's it for me.
Zach?
What did I watch this week?
What did you think about Hail Caesar?
I loved Hail Caesar. First of all, I saw Hail Caesar actually the week that you guys did the episode. But I just okay, like, and this is the thing I have to preface with it. That movie was made specifically for me.
Right?
No one else, just me.
I know.
That was made specifically for me. Like they said, Zach Eastman wants a movie about the 1950s with Channing Tatum in a sailor suit.
Yeah.
Let's make that movie.
With a bizarre underpinning of McCarthyism.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when they made Interstellar for James.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude.
You know, there's some directors who just like were tapped in, like, you know, like I'm sure there's, I don't know, you've got a couple different directors that tap into your brain every once in a while. So I loved it.
You know, Paul W.S. Anderson.
I thought that George Clooney, that was my favorite of his idiot performances.
You don't even realize how stupid he is until
the very end.
Like when he's like, oh, it's kind of like when is it Bing? No, it's kind of like when Danny Kaye asks you to shave his back, and you're like, what are you talking about? No, it's nothing like when Danny Kaye asks you to shave his back. But that moment, the thing that I couldn't talk about when we did the podcast was, like,
I still haven't seen it.
Okay. Okay. Well, anyway.
Yeah. So
the moment leading up to the Channing Tatum thing, like, what's going on there, and when you realize what they're doing and what he's actually saying about McCarthy, like, it's this really silly, like, is that what is that what McCarthy thought like Hollywood writers were doing back in the 50s, like secretly at night, sneaking off to have these meetings, like really? And it was such a brilliant thing I didn't see coming that when I realized what that subplot was about, it blew me away. I was like, holy shit.
My favorite,
so good.
My favorite bit in that entire movie is from Aldrich Heinrichen. What's the guy's last name? He played Obi.
Yeah, right.
The guy who played Obi had a great bit about like, maybe it'd be one of the extras. So you can never tell about an extra.
Right. Yeah.
I loved it. I also watched, I watched a couple of different things. I watched The Gift.
Oh.
I don't want to spoil anything for other people going in, and I know you guys all know it, but
yeah.
When he comes in, it's the line that he was talking about where he's like, "I came back to fucking apologize." I was like, "That's the moment." That's the moment for me. Like that, you guys weren't lying. That moment was solid.
Jason Bateman's really good in that.
It is. I watched Good Night and Good Luck again.
Nice.
So I picked it up. I couldn't find it on Blu-ray. I had to pick it up on DVD for $3.99.
Does it have a Blu-ray?
It does.
Yeah. But it's still a solid film.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Like, I cannot believe how well that movie holds up. Because I thought it might just be like a product of its time when it came out, like that particular moment in time when it needed to come out. But it's still prevalent today.
Yeah.
And it's shot beautifully by Robert Elswit, who shot There Will Be Blood and a bunch of different films. I also watched sorry, I'm hearing the song in there.
Yeah, wait, no, we're gonna get copyright infringement for.
No, it's on the TV.
Oh, you sure?
I watched The Matrix 2 and 3 back to back in a double feature.
Wow, you had 5.5 hours to kill?
Yeah, I did. On one of my days off, and
are they still disappointing?
You know what? I said this to my friend last night. You know what the Matrix series needed? Mr. T. And that's it. That's the only thing it needed. Nothing else was wrong. No, of course there's problems with it, but still some interesting special effects stuff and interesting action sequences to watch.
Oh.
And then
they're cool. Those movies are still cool.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
just not. They're not the first one.
Yeah, it sucks because they're in a movie franchise where the first one's amazing.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I saw 2 movies in theaters outside of the movie for today. I saw The Witch.
Ooh.
Nice.
I felt like the production design got in the way of the story at times because it seemed like it was taking a back seat to all the glorious things they were achieving in camera, which is great. And it looked beautiful. It was shot beautifully. The imagery is amazing, and since everybody's seen it here, I didn't expect them to fly around on broomsticks. I was just like, no way, they totally didn't. I mean, they're not broomsticks, they're like logs, like whatever it is, but they're flying up in the air and whatnot.
Yeah.
But the story itself, what they're telling in the story and through the dialogue, the way they do it through that old-timey English, is absolutely perfect for what it needs to be.
Yeah.
For what it is, it's definitely doing the job correctly. And, like, you can dig deep into the story, like, through layers and layers and layers, but, ultimately it's just about, like, it's the loss of innocence in a certain respect. So, and then the last movie I saw was Michael Moore's Where to Invade Next.
Okay.
I went to the theater to see it, because it's been 6 years since Michael Moore had a movie out, and I was like, well, let's see what Mr. Moore is up to. This is the least Michael Moore movie he's ever made. And as much as that,
is he not in it?
He's in it.
Oh, that's too bad.
But
So that's more than one perspective.
There's more than one perspective.
How much does he make shit up? Sorry, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hannah and Her Sisters is a movie directed by Woody Allen. That's a callback. What I mean by it is that it just filmically the way it's shot. Like, I'm not going to get into the politics of it because that's just a whole. That's for a podcast called "Is Michael Moore?" Blah 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 blah.
Right. That's for a political podcast, not one that judges movies based on their film quality.
Yeah, the film quality wise, like this actually was shot like a travelogue. So it was actually pretty interesting to go to different countries and like, at least from a photography standpoint, like he captured some beautiful shots of the cities and whatnot.
It's like Anthony Bourdain's politics movie.
Kind of, yeah.
That's cool.
And he also like, there's some interesting points brought up, but again, it's all based around, it's not about whether he's right or wrong. It's, does this incite you to want to have a discussion about what he's talking about? Whether it's saying he's full of shit or he's not full of shit, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
So like, what I liked about it was that it's a movie that could incite discussion, but ultimately it's hard to judge the politics of it because I haven't seen a movie of his since Capitalism: A Love Story, and I don't think he's made one since.
I was gonna say, I think that's
yeah.
awesome.
So, and that Capitalism movie left a bad taste in my mouth because he's like, you know what? I can't do. Hold on, my dad. I can't keep doing this anymore so long as nothing's being done. And I'm like, wow, you're just going to give up filmmaking? That sucks for a guy who supposedly loves cinema so much.
Yeah.
But
I have such important things to say, but I'm tired of you not listening, so I'm going to stop saying them.
But when I heard about what he did to restore a theater to its 1940s setting, I was like, well, bravo. That's more than I can do right now.
Sure.
So, anyway.
He's also got a shit ton of money.
Yeah, that's true.
If you had that kind of money, you would do that kind of shit.
Exactly. So, that's what I saw this week.
Cool. Very cool. You or me?
Sure. So I watched a couple things. I watched the Hammers, The Mummy.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it might be the best horror mummy movie.
Is it actually scary?
The Boris Karloff one, of course, is a classic. And what's really cool about that's a running theme throughout all the Mummy films is the tale of lost and forbidden love. And this one, it's pretty much, I would say it's actually just a retelling of the original 32 Mummy. But the Mummy in it's awesome. The cool thing about Hammer films is they all have this like gothic horror theme to them. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. In this one though, the Mummy is, so he's in love with an Egyptian queen and she dies and he tries to bring her back to life. And by doing that, he gets caught and he's buried alive. And he puts a curse on it, so if anybody disturbs the queen's tomb, then he comes back to life. Mm-hmm. And so one of his followers in present day, 1950s, or no, it actually took place in the 1800s, flew the sarcophagus with that mummy back, and on its way to be delivered to his house, it fell off the wagon and went into a swamp. And
man, I heard swamps can turn you into like monsters and shit.
So when the bad guy came in, resurrected the mummy, he came out and he was like covered with like gook and stuff. So the mummy looks really cool.
I think out of all the Mummy movies, the Hammer ones got the mummy look correct.
Yeah.
Like even the Universal one looks a little.
Yeah, I think the Universal one looks pretty good. But this one though, he kills a lot of people in it. And it's pretty violent for a PG movie. And the effects are really good when the mummy gets shot. Like you can see bandages like blow up, and so it was a cool movie. If you like the Mummy films, I'd definitely recommend it.
Who's in Hammer's Mummy again? Who was the lead, the big star in it again?
Peter Cushing.
Peter Cushing, that's right.
And then Christopher Lee plays the Mummy.
That's right. I forgot about that.
He has a tan for the flashback scenes. So I mean, I guess he can be Middle Eastern.
Nice.
I watched a couple Adam Sandler classics, Big Daddy and Mr. Deeds. Both fun movies, harmless. I laughed at them.
I like Mr. Deeds.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I like the whole joke about his big black foot.
yeah. It's a weird thing where he has his foot so frostbitten he doesn't feel any pain on it, which is just.
You keep hitting it with a picker from the fireplace.
Yeah. I also watched Steve Jobs again, and that movie's just great. Everything, all the dialogue, you can just sit there and just close your eyes and listen to it.
I don't care if she put a pipe bomb in the water heater.
Yep.
You're going to fix it now.
Yeah.
Fix it, Steve. Can't do the voice.
Yeah, that scene with Andy Derkowitz or what's
Hertzfeld
is he says, "Did you say that she needed a strong father figure?" And he said, "Yes." And Oh, it's great. That's such like a revelation. It's such a great moment.
Michael Stuhlbarg for the win.
Yeah, so
He's so good in that one.
That movie, it's 2.5 hours long, but it goes by so fast because it's so well acted and everything is so well done.
2 weeks ago, I watched it at midnight, and it still went by really fast.
I know, and it's so great because the character of Steve Jobs is, when he's confronting Scully in the hallway, and he said, all John Scully wants to talk about is, says, "Why are you telling people I fired you?" Right. And all he can still harp on is that ad. He's like, "Did you pull that? You one who wanted to pull that fucking ad," and it's great. And so that's his this arrogance and what he doesn't care about, and all the scenes with Wozniak. Oh, I love that movie. Yeah, it's a great film. Yeah. And the last thing I watched this week was Rocky.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen Rocky in so long.
Yeah.
And that movie's really good. And now I get what you were saying about the review of Creed, where I think Creed's a great movie too. But in that movie, he really is a nobody. Like he works for a crime boss and he threatens people for, money. There's only 2 boxing matches in the whole movie. Mm-hmm. He starts off and it starts with him in a boxing match. And then the only reason he's picked is because Apollo Creed likes his name. And it's just about him falling in love and trying to get Adrian to go out with him. And, basically being a poor boxer in Philadelphia is the whole story.
Yep.
But
I forgot. I watched Creed.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Right.
Yes, I'm sorry. I just wanted to get that out there. Stallone was robbed.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're right.
Mark Rylance did a good job.
Yeah, that's true.
His movie, it's so subjective, it doesn't matter.
He had the best speech of the night. He was fantastic. But
anyway.
But man, Stallone needed it.
But it was cool seeing Rocky and then see where he gets to in Creed, where he is basically the same guy, but in Creed he's just beat down. Mm-hmm. There's that great moment in Rocky where he's... there's 2 scenes that I love in Rocky. I love the ice skating rink scene where he's on the date with Adrian.
That's genuinely one of the best romances I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Like with Casablanca and like the greatest romance on film.
Because she's saying, my mother said I was, ugly. And he says, yeah, well, mine said I was stupid. So I'm stupid, you're ugly. And it's just really great. And then the scene where they're watching his press conference and they're all making fun of him for being a stupid boxer from Philly. He's like, no, it doesn't bother me none. And then when he goes outside and, she's talking to him, he says, when I said it didn't bother me, it bothered me. Yeah. It's like, oh man. Yeah, that movie's great. That's a really great movie.
People say I'm mentally irregular.
I'm like turtles, Cuff and Link.
Yeah, the turtles had too many moss in that, and they choke on those moss, It's just great that movie's great. That's one of, I haven't seen it in so long, but that's another movie. I think it's 2 hours long, and, I've heard complaints recently that it's slow. I don't think it's slow at all. I think it moves by pretty quick.
Yeah. Are you going to watch the whole?
Yeah, I'm watching the whole thing, and then I'll end with Creed.
That's too bad.
A lot of people accuse it of, dips in quality, but I'm curious to see, I feel it's a consistent,
I'm interested.
Watch just different periods in time.
Here's the thing: I haven't seen Rocky 5 since the theaters. I haven't seen Rocky Balboa since the theaters, so I don't remember. I barely remember the series.
Rocky Balboa is amazing.
Well, yeah. I mean, when Brad sent us that link for Geeks Who Drink, and it was kids acting at that scene from Rocky Balboa, I'm like, I fucking love that movie.
Yeah. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. I'll probably finish them this week. That'll be my goal this week is to watch the Rocky movies. Cool.
4 is silly.
Yeah.
But awesome. 5's the one where he fights the kid in the street, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That one's, man.
So I don't remember it. I know he fights a kid in the street. That's all I remember.
1, 2, and 3 are pretty great. Yeah.
Yep.
And
no
Balboa's
rematch. No rematch.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's really just 5 that I find really hard to watch.
And the thing is you've seen it. Yeah. I've seen Rocky a bunch of times, but still the fight at the end, where he knocks Creed down for the first time, I literally sat at the edge of my seat like, oh yeah, this is where Rocky gets him. And is he going to go the distance? It's great.
In Creed, the equivalent of the ice rink scene is just them at her apartment doing the music, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Creed's a great film, but yeah. I mean, now I get what you're saying because I haven't seen Rocky in so long. It took me a while to you know, because I mean, the first half of the movie is him just like getting money from people, you know, and chasing that dude down on the docks.
Yeah.
And but you see that he's not a bad guy. He says, you know, I didn't want to break his hand, you know, because he couldn't work, you know. And it's a cool, it's a great film. So that's what I watched this week. James.
Cool. I got a bunch of stuff. So, I'll run through. I rewatched Two Guns, which I haven't seen since we saw it in theaters. I got the Blu-ray not too long ago.
Nice.
That's a fun movie. That's a movie people should have seen.
But the guy who's looking for Transformers in it?
Yeah. It's got the Transformers guy, and then it's got Denzel Washington, and King Kong's got nothing on him, and they have really great chemistry. Remember, it's the one. It starts off with like them in the diner, and they're just like joking back and forth, and then they rob that bank. Like it's a fun movie. Yeah.
That's one I'll have to get on sale because, you know, it's a comic book movie.
Yeah. And Edward James almost pees on his hand, and then Marky Mark makes fun of him.
You've met Edward James almost.
I have. I rode in an elevator with him. Yeah. Yeah, we're elevator buddies. Me and
you also did a panel with him.
Me and Eddie James, yeah. That's what he asked me to call him Eddie James.
Nice.
Yeah. No. I watched Spotlight this week.
Any good?
Yeah, it is absolutely any good. Would it have made my top 10 list? No. It's a really well made, really well written movie that is telling an important story and does a very good job of it. I just don't take anything away necessarily. Like, you know, it's like it's one of those where you're like, oh, good job, but I don't look at it and go like, oh man, like this teaches me this or this, you know, I mean, other than like, hey, don't touch kids. But like, I didn't need to learn that lesson.
You know, I forgot to mention my favorite moment of the Oscars was when Spotlight won and they were all going on stage and Michael Keaton walked by the camera and went, fuck yeah! You could read his lips. It was awesome. Because, you know, he's always chewing gum and it showed him and it cut away really quick. He said, fuck yeah. I mean, obviously you couldn't pick up the audio, but you can read his lips.
Yeah.
You can read his lips.
If you want to win Best Picture, get Michael Keaton in your movie.
Yeah. Lately, for sure, yeah.
He's not going to win anything, but the movie will.
Yeah.
RoboCop should have been nominated.
Totally.
There are moments in that movie that are so frank. Like when she goes up to the former offender's house.
Yes.
It's the scene they picked for her Oscar clip.
Yes.
And
which I don't know. I honestly don't know why she was nominated. I don't.
She's good. She is good in it though.
She's fine. Yeah. But that's like, I was left fairly cold the way that like her performance leaves me cold the way the film leaves me cold.
That's
like
fair.
It's a well-made movie and it doesn't mean anything to me, which is weird, you know? Like it's not, I heard people compare it to All the President's Men. I really like All the President's Men. Like that to me has got,
in as much as it's a newspaper movie.
Yeah, right, yeah. It's
a very different subject matter. And
oh, absolutely, yeah. But a similar, like, yeah, it's about journalism and people like breaking this huge story. And I think the suspense there is really great. That's sort of what makes it a really fun film, which is a bizarre thing to say, but like, you know, this is especially like when Mark Ruffalo gets the papers released and but he can't get to them fast enough and they can't tell the story because of 9/11.
Yeah, Brad, you want to pull down that shade for Zach?
Yeah, right.
No, I'm fine.
And
make him do it.
Right. So so there's all this suspense because they're like,
thanks, Brad.
Someone else is going to figure out that this story is going on and they're going to break it before us.
Yeah, and he's is it Mark Ruffalo's moment where he's going like, they could have happened to any one of us, Jimmy, any one of us,
right? Because they've got everything on hold, and you know. But yeah, it's a really. I think the closest it gets to greatness is the question of, you know, when he goes to the one lawyer and convinces him to work with them, and the guy's like, hey, like, where were you? Like, you guys had all these pieces. Like, why didn't you put this together 10 years ago? You know, why did it take you so long to figure this out? And so I think that question is the closest it gets to really being a brilliant movie. It did not hit me in the way that I would expect a Best Picture to hit me.
That's fair.
Or that
it's definitely it's one of the ones that we knew it was gonna win.
Yeah.
So just let it be.
It's not a movie that left me asking a lot of questions the way that Room did, which I also saw this week.
Wow.
I really love Room. Room would have had at least a chance on my top 10. So that's the movie that Brie Larson won Best Actress for. She's fantastic in it. obviously, if you don't know, like it's Brie Larson and her son are captives in some dude's shed for a very long time, and them getting out and wrestling. The sequence of them getting out is one of the most exciting and thrilling and suspenseful sequences that I saw last year, or from a movie last year. Like, really fantastic, and the suspense there is really great. And then them learning to adapt, and sort of, it really ends up being a story about Jack, her son, at that point, and how he learns to adapt and how he learns to help her adapt back into the real world, and sort of this question of like, is it easier for him or is it easier for her? That is fascinating. Like, I really enjoyed that movie, and I didn't. It's now the only one of the Best Actress movies that I saw, but I certainly would understand why she won.
Yeah.
Because she's just fantastic in it. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it.
I know there's some consternation about the kid, but I think he gave a really great performance. Like,
oh yeah, he's great. It's always weird when you have. It would take a great adult actor to pull off some of the dialogue that he has,
right?
Because he has all this sort of really bizarre. His understanding of the world is very strange, and so some of the things that he says don't make sense because he's like, he talks about like, the aliens come down out of the window, and then like, we get stuff on Sunday because he gets it from magic, and so he says this stuff, and you don't understand it until you get a little bit more context.
Yeah.
That would be really hard for an adult actor to pull off those lines. I think he does a fine job.
Yeah,
just because it's so weird to hear anybody say that it never feels real.
It's a tough position for anybody to be in. So.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's good. And then the very last thing I want to talk about is tonight. Actually, we're recording this on a Sunday, so tonight the series finale of Downton Abbey is going to air. But the Blu-ray came out a few weeks ago, so I've already seen it. I won't talk too much about it because I think.
Please do.
Fuck off. I think I will write an article about it because it's one of the.
Please title it Tea and Crumpets.
Fuck off. It's one of the best and most interesting finales to a television show I've ever seen. And the thing about it that I love, you go into it, and I talked with my folks about it the week before when we had watched the penultimate episode.
Mm-hmm.
We started watching the Oscars and then stopped so we could watch the finale of Downton Abbey, and then went back to watching the Oscars after it was done.
You did.
Right. So we had talked about like, okay, so you followed all these characters, and there's all this sad stuff that's happened to these characters over the 20-ish years that you followed their stories, and you're watching sort of this way of life that they've all had fall
for
apart.
20 fucking years?
No, it's been on for 6 years.
I know.
You son of a bitch.
You should title your article "Downtown Not Too Shabby."
And so you talk about all of the possible things you expect to happen in a series finale. You expect for the crazy old grandma to die. You expect for a jump forward in time. You expect for something sad to happen. You expect for them to lose the house, or for something sort of catastrophic to change in the world that these guys live in. And Julian Fellows makes a really interesting choice to fucking not do any of that. What he actually does is he makes everything kind of happy. Like, spoilers for the end of Downton Abbey.
Aww.
But he writes a beautifully brilliant, happy ending to that story, and you feel okay about the fact that he's fed you enough medicine through this show, and he said what he needed to say about this time period and about this way of life, that he didn't need to push it at the end. He could sort of just give you like, hey, you know how you like all these characters? They just keep going. Like, good things happen to them. Probably some bad. Eventually those characters die, but we don't need to, we don't have to dwell on that.
Like Dan Stevens' character.
It doesn't.
But Dan Stevens' character died 4 seasons. That's my point. It's like they've done the sad
about
stuff.
That show.
Yeah.
It doesn't cut to black like the end of The Sopranos, does it?
No. Exactly the opposite. It ties things up in a bow and says, here you go. This was fun, and you get to continue enjoying this thing and still love these characters and not be left with this kind of sour note. And in an age when we're all sort of used to and expecting your Breaking Bad finales, it was kind of refreshing. And you know, it could easily be seen as like, you know, a sort of corny and simple ending, but it's not. Like it's still challenging, and there's still a lot of like tough stuff that they have to go through, and there's still these cool questions about sort of the benefits of that way of life, and you get sort of this nostalgia, you know. But it's a fantastic show, and straight up. Hey, Ryan, you remember how much you love how horrible Ben Linus is in Lost?
Yes.
And how fantastic it is to watch that character be redeemed and become one of your favorite characters. Yeah, Downton Abbey does it better. It takes one of the most vicious, vile characters, and over 6 seasons, genuinely, when I thought they were going to kill that character, I was furious and I was depressed and I was like, I don't want to see this. Like, this is gonna be horrible. Because he's losing his livelihood because this way, like, they don't need butlers and footmen anymore, and like, you think he's going to kill himself, and it's so depressing. They do such an amazing job. They turned Thomas, who is horrible in the early seasons, into one of the most lovable characters of that show. And you are rooting for him maybe more than you are any of the rest of the characters. It's fantastic. It's unbelievably good. So yeah, still one of the best shows of the last 10 years.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, Downton Abbey. Check it out.
This week on Real Nerds Podcast, we went and saw... Are you the one who saw London Has Fallen?
I saw it. Brad, did you see it? Okay, cool.
James, should people go see London Has Fallen?
If you like Olympus Has Fallen, and you like to watch people get stabbed a lot, yeah, you should see this movie. It's pretty fun.
Zach?
My reaction to London Has Fallen was the same as Brad's reaction to Hail Caesar. It was kind of meh.
Fair.
It was there.
Totally fair.
And I will say that I had a problem with some of the CGI stuff.
Like the first one?
It's so bad.
Not like the first one. Oddly enough, like I thought that the first one as we'll get into it later, but like overall, like the I just liked watching Gerard Butler kick some butt.
Yeah.
Like that was fun. Like, but I don't think people need to go rush out and see it.
No.
So last night I got off work and I was supposed to go see London Has Fallen, but I said fuck it. I went and saw Zootopia instead. So,
did you really?
So you should definitely go see Zootopia because that movie is fucking amazing. But here's a trailer for London Has Fallen.
Hell of a presidential race, sir.
Every day the same damn joke. What the hell they make you out of?
Bourbon and poor choices.
With security at unprecedented levels, this isn't just a gathering of the world's most powerful leaders, it is the most protected event on Earth.
Welcome to London, Mr. President.
What's wrong?
Nothing.
Bugs the hell out of me.
Get down! An attack has decimated the British capital.
5 of the world's leaders are now dead.
Stay with me. We'll get you out of here.
The American president is unaccounted for.
To our friends in the West.
Bakawe.
Number 6 on the 10 list.
What do you want?
Your president.
That's not going to happen.
Then every day from this moment forward will be on your head.
We have to find Bakawe before he finds the president.
We're going to kill him slowly and broadcast it live.
Yeah, well, you should have brought more men.
I will not be executed as propaganda. You don't let them take me. If it comes to it, I want you to kill me. That's an order.
London is just the first stop. Just imagine every major city descending into chaos. Your president dies tonight.
To those who threaten our freedom, America will rise up.
All right, here we go.
And make no mistake, we will find you. And we will destroy you.
Mike, we're getting you out. Go, go, go! Rooftop, 3 o'clock! Brace for impact. Oh my God.
Can I have a thin Oreo? I just want to taste its thinness.
Yeah, of course.
I put them out there so anybody can have them. I don't give a shit.
I would love to try one.
Well, I was conflicted because obviously Kellen's contaminated them, but
With his cuteness.
Cool. So you talk about Olympus Has Fallen as first, and I'll tell you about Zootopia.
So I like Olympus Has Fallen a lot. It was the best Die Hard movie of that year, and there were 3 Die Hard movies that year. So it's a movie where, some dumb action happens, and there's a really stupid plot, and Gerard Butler stabs a bunch of fools in the head, and that's pretty cool. And so this is that, again. There's some really dumb shit at the beginning, and there's some really bad CGI, just like in the first movie. And the general plot of the film is pretty dumb. But there's this Call of Duty Modern Warfare sequence that's like these long shots that, are pretty well, they're fake long shots, but they're cut together well enough that it's pretty effective. When he's fighting his way through that temple, or to the
building where the president's being held. Yeah.
Right. Like that sequence was really cool. The whole first third or so is kind of slow. And like there's that shitty, you remember, Ryan, in the pod show when you're writing your letter to, Robert Downey Jr.?
Mm-hmm.
So he has that scene, but he's writing his resignation to the president.
Nice.
But he's like typing really slow.
Is it misspelled?
And he's carefully spelling resignation.
I wish that would have been funny.
It would have been. But it's like, it's a 2-sentence letter, but it's just agonizing. He so doesn't want to write it.
You know what really sold me?
He loves protecting the president so much.
Not to see it. I was pretty much leaning to go see Zootopia and spring it on you guys at the end of the show. But as I was walking up to the movie theater, it was basically playing at the same time.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I won't be an asshole. I'll go see London Has Fallen. And I'm walking up, and this lady was walking out, and she said, wow, I'm really good. That president's in good shape. Not like our president who only goes and plays golf. I'm like, I'm not seeing this fucking movie. Yeah, our president isn't Aaron Eckhart. I got it.
Aaron Eckhart does jump out of an explosion into an elevator shaft at one point, which is pretty cool.
So he's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, he's in pretty good shape.
So the lady wasn't lying.
No, yeah, she does. Golf does nothing for you.
Screw it, I'm done on this show. We need to get that lady on the show now.
Yeah.
Perfect review.
And he stabs some dudes in the head.
Nice.
Stabs some dudes in the neck, stabs some dudes in the head, stabs some dudes in the face, stabs some dudes everywhere.
Chokes a dude to death and then makes a joke about the fact that he only choked him because he didn't have a knife.
Yep.
Literally a joke in the movie, which was
Is
pretty
it only
great.
an hour and a half? I was surprised when I saw that.
It's 94 minutes.
That's really fast.
It's so great.
Yep, it goes by really quickly. But the bad CGI, like in Olympus,
so bad.
In Olympus Has Fallen, I bought it because I was like, okay, they're invading the White House. What else do I expect? Everything about the CGI was fine except for the moment before the terror attack begins, and it's this bad composite shot of an explosion from a wide angle that doesn't feel impactful. The sound design doesn't lend itself to suggest that this is an impactful situation. If anything, the beginning of the terrorist attack should have been right in front of Buckingham Palace when all the guards take out the guns and start shooting people.
Yes,
I
agree.
That is what should have happened.
Like you've got this pulled back shot where it's clearly like a CG'd explosion, but like the group of people don't move enough. Like it's a big explosion, but it doesn't affect anyone in a weird way.
Yeah, it's like a blip on a map, like on your GPS.
I actually think that I agree with you. It's less effective. I would say that I think the quality of the CG is probably better, which is surprising because there's more of it, and and the budget's $10 million less than the last movie.
Yeah.
The last movie was 70, and this movie's $60 million. The most disappointing thing about the movie for me is that I saw it at the Alamo, and they brought the check, and the action hadn't really started yet. Like you had some, you have the fight, you have that fight you're talking about, and then they get into the helicopter, and you have that whole sequence. Which, how horrible! My, it literally has like this slow motion. They're about to get shot by a rocket. While they're in the helicopter, and they like slow motion zoom in, and that woman has a single tear rolling down her cheek.
That was a weird choice.
So bad.
It was everything that Olympus Has Fallen did so well was kind of just retroactively thrown to the side for London Has Fallen.
Yeah, like it's not. It isn't. At no point does
It's
it have
one-liner the movie.
Yeah, but they're good one-liners.
There are good one-liners, but it is one-liner the movie.
Yeah,
which Gerard Butler doesn't. When I think of him, I don't think of him as a one-liner, even though he has great one-liners throughout film history as of his career.
Yeah.
But I just don't think of him as a one-liner guy. I think of him as a capable action star.
Yeah.
So
I am Sparta.
I know. Like I said, he's got quotes.
This is Sparta.
This
is Sparta.
I like I Am Sparta a lot though.
I like. What do they make you out of? Bourbon and poor choices.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the SAS guys are cool. The whole subplot with Jax, the lady British spy,
that was wasted.
Yeah, I don't know what that. I mean, she was cool. Like a movie about her could have been cool. But
the scene where they reveal who was the mole inside, Scotland Yard.
I don't know why that needed to be there.
It was a great. It was an interesting dramatic scene that had no place. No reason, no rhyme to be in there. You could have gotten away with not explaining the mole.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh no, we have to explain it.
It was like a weird deleted scene from some season of 24 that they just found and they threw it in there. Cause it's cool. Like she shoots that dude and she shoots him in the head. And then shoots him again.
Yep.
And you're like, that was cool. Yeah, oh yeah, it's a beautiful scene.
Shot really well, executed really well, acted really well.
Yeah.
Had no place in the movie.
Does not belong out of some other movie.
Exactly.
That's what's really bizarre about it. Yeah. Stab some dudes.
He stabbed some dudes. Grabbed some dudes and threw them out of buildings.
Yeah.
The villain was pretty weak.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But even compared to the first one, where
but there's that great scene where nobody cares about the villain in this one. What you care about is the dude who works for the villain, whose brother Gerard Butler kills.
Yeah.
And you don't even the dialogue's poorly written in that scene, so you don't realize it's his brother until after he's killed him.
Mm-hmm.
But he stabs that guy and kind of brutally stabs that guy. And he has him scream over the radio so his brother hears him. And then the president's like, was that really necessary? And Gerard Butler just goes, no, it wasn't. You're like, oh, okay, great. It was pretty cool though.
Also, everybody from the first movie, the supporting actors, Robert Forster, Melissa Leo, and now the addition of Jackie Earle Haley, were all wasted.
Oh, that's because it was all a day of filming for them.
Yeah,
Morgan Freeman's still in the movie, but he's got it's 5 scenes and it's all in the same room.
That's not going to happen.
They don't even shoot the shot of the vice president walking into the Situation Room. It's just all those guys still hanging out in the Situation Room.
Yeah, it's like they never left from the first movie.
No, yeah, you don't have to assemble anyone in the Situation Room. They're just waiting for the president to get kidnapped.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I still it is exactly what I wanted it to be, which is a sequel to Olympus Has Fallen, a kind of dumb but pretty cool action movie. So yeah, that's why I said if you like Olympus Has Fallen, you should see this one because it's that movie.
Yeah, if you haven't, then just go watch Olympus Has Fallen.
Oh yeah, don't watch White House Down. That movie's dumb.
Don't watch White.
Hey, Ryan, should people go see Zootopia?
Fuck yeah, movie's awesome.
All right, here's the trailer for Zootopia.
In the world of Zootopia, humans never happened, which makes Zootopia a modern, civilized world that is entirely animal. That is an animal. Animals in Zootopia are anthropomorphic. That is just a big fancy word that means they walk around on 2 feet. They do not go to work nude. Thank you. Almost. That's got it. And they use technology. Okay, there are mammals from all over the globe in Zootopia. Large and small, fast and slow. But the truth is, Zootopia isn't perfect. And just like our world, not everyone gets along. Especially natural enemies. Which can create some issues. But nature always gives animals special skills to survive, and while one may have amazing night vision, another may have incredible hearing and an air-powered elephant tranquilizer. So now you know. Zootopia. Like nothing you've seen before.
I've heard really great things about this. Like, the reviews have been fantastic.
It's another Disney animated movie where the trailers are awful and the movie is fantastic.
Awful's honestly kind of nice because the first trailer I saw for Zootopia, I rolled my eyes harder than I've rolled my eyes before.
Well, the thing is okay. So Zootopia is about the story of a rabbit named Judy.
Cool.
And
it's a girl main character.
Yeah. And it starts off with her. They explain why the animals walk around and mingle with each other. That
Mutation.
They evolved after thousands of years, and now they can cohabitate with predators and prey.
So it's like a sequel to to The Good Dinosaur.
Sure.
Where like humans never exist, and so animals become sentient.
Yeah. So they have this dynamic where it starts off with her as a little girl, and she stands up to the fox of the town, and the fox is, a bully. And she says, there's never been a rabbit police officer because rabbits are too small. They're not, they're not strong. They're not smart. And so the whole first half of the movie is her proving everybody wrong, saying, I can be a police officer and I'll show you how I can be a police officer. So it goes through like her police academy days and
this is pandering to you a little, isn't it?
Well, how she's beating up, like rhinoceroses and hippos, and she's the fastest one out there. And the whole point of her story is every time someone tells her she can't do it, it makes her want to do it more.
Yeah.
And so her first day on the force, because she gets to the Zootopia Police Department, the biggest police department in the land.
Is that the name of the town?
Yeah.
That's why it's called Zootopia?
Yeah. So Zootopia is actually broken up too as, there's like the desert, the tundra, and they're all separate. So the polar bears live in the tundra and stuff like that. So when she gets there, the big, water buffalo, who is the chief of police, is played by, Idris Elba, and he's really good in it. And so the first thing he does is assign her to traffic patrol or parking ticket lady. And he says, I don't care if you write 100 tickets. She's like, I'm going to write 200 before lunch. And so there's a whole montage of her writing as many tickets as she can just to prove him wrong.
Yeah.
And then they have this great scene where she's chasing this weasel who steals something, from this vendor. And she captures him, and the weasel's played by Alan Tudyk, so it's really good.
Cool.
The animation is stunning. I mean, this movie is beautiful. She eventually meets Jason Bateman, who is a fox who's a con man. She meets him. You don't know it at the beginning, but he goes into this ice cream shop with his little boy, and all he wants is this huge elephant, like, popsicle, and he refuses to serve it to him. So he says, we have the right to refuse service to anybody. So she goes in there and buys it for him, and then she finds that his little boy's like this con artist with him, and they melt the big popsicle and make him smaller and call them popsicles, and they sell them on the street for more money. And so she ends up, and then it turns up to be like a missing persons whodunit mystery.
Okay.
And the movie is really good and it explores bigotry, bullying, and like race relations. And I don't want to spoil what happens in it, but she eventually becomes friends with Nick, who's played by Jason Bateman, who's a fox, and he kind of helps her solve this mystery. And after they solve the mystery, the movie's only like half over, and it kind of has a third act that you don't see coming. And it's he cried last time he did that.
Brad, you're the devil.
So
I genuinely for a second thought like, oh, Brad's gonna get little Kellen an Oreo, and it's gonna be this kind of sweet moment. I think he just wants to open it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna eat one now though.
So yeah, I would definitely recommend seeing Zootopia. It's one of Disney's best recent movies.
Is this for their animation department?
Yeah.
From the animation
Yeah, so
studio?
it's I call it the renaissance of them, because when John Lasseter came on board at Disney Animation around Tangled 2010, they really, really rebranded themselves, and I mean, they did Tangled, Wreck-It Ralph, Frozen, and now Zootopia, and they've all been really, really great movies. So
cool.
Yeah, if you like Disney and animation, I would definitely recommend Zootopia.
Did they do Mars Needs Moms?
They did not do Mars Needs Moms. I looked that up.
That was Image Movers.
It was Image Movers.
Wow, you knew that, man. I said that because we were talking about it beforehand, so I knew it wasn't Disney when I asked. So that's cool.
So definitely see Zootopia. Next week on Real Nerds Podcast, we're seeing 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, we are.
So that'll
Dan
be fun.
Trachtenberg's 10 Cloverfield Lane. I'm excited.
From the man who brought you Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
From some dude who reviewed a movie on a podcast 10 years ago.
Yeah. So I'm excited. Cool. Trailers are great. Movie looks interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Until next time. Bye.
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 Bye, Brad. Visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can tweet us at real_nerds. You can email us even, realnerds@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook. Hey, stream us on Stitcher. You want to call us? 720-6nerds5. And download us on iTunes. Just search Real Nerds. Thank you, Joe Kempter, for the wonderful voiceover. And also Spark Mandrill for the wonderful late-night jazz smooth sounds of movies. You can find them on SoundCloud. This has been a Nebulous Visions production. I sound great.
You do sound pretty good. You sound
guys,
you
my little
sounded
guy
worse.
is asleep, so he's going to wake up like in any minute now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, Bart, you want to check out my new chainsaw?
Dude, I've been watching season 5. I don't think there's a bad episode.
4 and 5, man.
I watched, I forgot, the Tramampoline episode.
Tramampoline!
Yep. I was sitting there going to man, have I never seen this one? Yeah.
Tramampoline, huh?
Free Tramampoline.
Use your words slowly. Free Tramampoline.
Hey, Krusty, can I bring back the... You just keep on driving.
I think it starts with 12 used mattresses,
Yeah.
and then in his fantasy, it comes back as the mattress fort, he's gonna charge kids for it.
Yeah.
It's so smart.
Yep.
That's a show that I should watch through because, I watched some of it as a kid, but I can guarantee you I've probably only seen a third of all the episodes.
Well, that's when I watched it. I used to record it on my VCR every day when it was running in syndication.
Yeah, I'm listening to the commentaries too, so they're and here comes the greatest doe joke we've ever made. Doe, a deer, a female deer. Yeah.
I'm alive, and I owe it all to this feisty feline.
There's the one where it was Grandpa Simpson gives them their inheritance, and he's like, "What do old people do for you? Nothing. What are they good for? Nothing." Okay.
Where he's dressed up as in lingerie dancing for Hitler. It's oh god.
Oh, there's actually
the commentator's this might be the worst thing we've ever done to Grandpa.
there's a joke too that I can't believe that they would never. I guess they could still do it, but Lisa wants them to do something, and Bart says it's not gonna be like a time you made us march in the gay pride parade. And he holds up the newspaper. It says local gay marches in parade. It's just a picture of Bart.
There's another fantasy thing where Bart pulls a shotgun on I think Krusty.
Mm-hmm.
And the commentator's is yeah, we can make a kid holding a shotgun pointed at anyone nowadays.
Thank you for the Danish. What's your name, kid? I'm Bart Simpson. I reunited you with your father. I saved your life.
I freed you from jail.
I got you that Danish a few minutes ago, and I'll never forget it.
Boy, show business is great. Aren't we lucky to be in this business? I wish I was dead.